I know you're tired. I know you're broken. And it feels like you can't take it anymore. That you have come to the end of yourself. But all of this means one thing. That you are a survivor. Your greatest weakness, the hurt, the pain, the betrayal, the feeling that you get when you wake up and you are inundated with so much responsibility. Feels like you can't breathe. Paralyzed by the pain of life. I can only imagine what it's been like to be you. But I'll tell you this, there is a switch inside of every one of us. And at any moment in life, you can turn that switch from surviving to winning. Because ultimately, survival is an illusion. There's only two types of people in this world. There's people who lose, and there's people who win. And it's hard to be a loser, and it's hard to be a winner. Today, I want you to make a decision to flip the switch inside of you from surviving to winning. It's time to win. See, the human being is the highest order of creation on earth. And one thing I am crystal clear about is that at any moment in your life, you can come across a speech or a piece of information. And if that information is applied, that revelation, it can forever alter the fabric of your existence. It's in the midst of our greatest storm. If you can hear my voice, you've survived. You survived the hurricane. You survived the storm. You survived the trial. You survived the betrayal. You survived it all. In order to change your life, all you gotta do is flip the switch from surviving to winning. See, a survivor will sit and wallow in the pain of the past. But a winner will build even when they are broken. I may be weak, I may be hurting, I may have pains, I may have been down, but I am not out. I am getting out of this hole. Today, I'm getting out of the pit of misery and into my destiny. Your pain is not bigger than your purpose. And even though you have been crushed in this very moment, you still have your calling. Flip the switch from weakness to winning, from hurting to conquering, from losing to champion.
Thank you, brother. How you been? What's new?
You can't worry about yesterday because yesterday is not coming back to look for you.
Who speaks to the broken? Who speaks to the individuals that's still in the process? I'm dropping this for you.
I'm telling you to keep going when you face opposition. I'm telling you to keep going when you face adversity.
Believe in everything that you are and understand that within you there's something greater than any obstacle you'll ever face.
I wish I could tell you that if you just keep going, it's gonna get lighter. But that's not the truth. The truth is you gotta find something within. He's gonna have to dig deep inside his soul to bring out that king.
But I'm telling you to get rid of the things that's not giving you the strength that you need to keep living the life that you have been given.
When you come over depression, you raise your arms like a champ. When you overcome bankruptcy, you raise your arms like a champ. When you come over divorce, raise your arms in victory.
But yeah, this whole thing is leading up to what I'm going for in 2020.
Got nothing up in your tank. You gotta think about the people in your life that you're doing this for. And then if you can think about them, you can go one more mile. You can go one more day at work.
Live. Breathe. Life. You. That's what it's about.
Here we go again. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the couch. Same old shit again.
Life is one big tug of war between mediocrity and trying to find your best self.
Marching down the avenue. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. One more day and we'll be through. At the bottom of insecurities, fear, self-doubt, lies, was me buried in the fetal position. How I got out of that was recognizing, being honest with it, being truthful with it, and then fix it. Stay in your own mind. Don't let them own yours. I wasn't born this motherfucker. I made them. Here we go again.
I never said when you want to succeed as bad as you want to eat, because you can go 21 days, maybe 30, without eating. I never said when you want to succeed as bad as you want water, because you can go about 3 days or so without it. I said when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And so one of the things I want to do for you as an educator today, necessarily need better skill, but what some of you need is to go from 70% to 120%. Some of you need to go from 80% to 120%. The reason why I'm giving 120 is because your daddy's not in your life. The reason why I'm giving 120 is because your father's in prison. The reason why I'm giving 120 is because your mom is working 2 jobs. The reason why I'm giving 120 is because your grandma's raising you. The reason why I'm giving 120 is because you live in a community where education is not valued. So I don't care what you do academically, when you leave here, you can't go and get credit for getting A's. That in your neighborhood, in your community, nobody affirms you for reading at a certain level.
Hope you've been doing
Nobody
good, brother.
affirms you for doing well on your ACT or your SAT. Where you come from, education is not affirmed. So even if you are a scholar, you have to keep it to yourself. You have to suppress it. So the reason why I give 120 is because your daddy's not there to give 80, and your mama's too tired to give 100, and your grandma is washed out, so she's giving 50.
And y'all do that little stuff about you gonna eat, but y'all ain't got no doggone motor. You get tired quick. You practice for 1 or 2 days, you wore out. You do a couple hours, you tired. But yet you compete against people right now, that's their lifestyle. And you think they about to let you take their lifestyle?
I don't want to do it as much as I want to eat. I don't want to do it as much as I need to drink. I want to be the best in the world as bad as I want to breathe. I want to be the Michael Jordan of education. I want to be the LeBron James of education. And I ask you the question. I ask you the question today, are you giving 120? I never said when you want to succeed as bad as you want to eat. I never said when you want to succeed as bad as you want water. I said when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
Winston Churchill said the destiny of man is not measured by material computations. When great forces are on the move in the world, we learn we're spirits, not animals. And he said there's something going on in time and space and beyond time and space, which, whether we like it or not, spells duty. You and I have a rendezvous with destiny.
You have the capacity to leave a lasting impact, an indelible impression upon this world.
It is about becoming a master of your own destiny. As your understanding and perception of life deepens, you will see everything is in your hands.
All of us have something in us that we must live. And if we don't know what it is right now, we must create it or we must find it. All of us have this, whatever this something is.
Just try and dig deep and find out what you're passionate about and live it like there's no tomorrow. I don't care what it is. I don't care what you want to do, but do the hell out of that.
It takes, again, hard work, and it takes perseverance, and again, it just takes context, and it takes perspective.
You gotta put your stake in the ground and go after this thing called your future, because no one's gonna give it to you.
Don't talk about it, don't mull it over, don't plan for it, just get after it.
All of us have seen our destiny at some point in time, and we decided not to listen. We decided to ignore it and say, no, that's not for me. Life came in and slapped us side the head, and we stopped dreaming anymore.
Give it everything you got. And if you fail, you can at least do what? You tried. But if you don't go out there and give 120%, you're not a man.
It's time to understand that if you want to get something out of your life, you got to be willing to work for it. How much are you really willing to give?
You have an everlasting potential, and as long as you have a heartbeat, as long as you have air in your lungs, you have an opportunity to change this world, change your life, and live your dream today.
Don't you dare settle for anything less than what you know you can get.
Just make sure you make your mark. Make sure you make your mark in this world.
When you become what you're supposed to be, then you're gonna bless somebody else. And that's what it's really all about.
If you don't get serious with what's going on in front of you, you're gonna forfeit everything that you were born to be.
Take the leap of faith and believe that everything is going to be all right. Take that leap of faith. Trust yourself.
To bring out that king, that legend.
As a human being, the strongest thing you've got is your force of will. So take that force of will and make that happen.
Make sure every breath you take counts for something.
That when you get to the spot, you get to the spot for 1,000 others, 1,000,000 others.
Live your life now. Live your dreams now. Start acting like this is your last day on the planet.
Claim the sacred spaces of your minds and move toward that destiny with patience, perseverance, and prayer.
Tick tock.
What is ticking off here is not the clock, it's your life.
You are running out of time.
I hear the clock ticking. That's what I hear, and the end is nigh.
You don't know how much time you have. You keep telling yourself you got time and watch what happens.
If you don't take a hold of your life, if you don't get serious with what's going on in front of you, you're gonna forfeit everything that you were born to be.
Time waits for no man.
That clock, it's always ticking.
Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life.
You got to give it everything you got, whether it's your time, your talent, or your treasures.
When's the time to jump in the pool? When's the time to kiss the boy? When's the time to get married? When's the time to take the training wheels off the bike? When's the time to live your life? The answer is, I don't know. Nobody knows. There's no right answer. There's that moment in time.
However you spend your time, that tells you who you are.
Stop waiting for tomorrow. Stop waiting for the perfect moment.
And I'm saying to you, whatever you gotta do, do it, because if you don't, life is gonna whoop you until you surrender.
Tick tock.
Who's not gonna see you accomplish your goals? Who's not gonna see you blow up? Who's not gonna be able to enjoy the fruits of your labor with you? Who put in why? Because you average. And one day you're gonna be great, but you think you got time.
Fight that ticking clock with everything you got.
Time is one of the most powerful, important tools that any of us will ever get, because time we never get back.
You got to have faith, and that faith gives you patience. That it's not gonna happen as quickly as you want it to happen.
There's not an hour that's gonna go by. There's not a minute that's gonna go by that is not accounted for.
Greatness takes time.
Tick tock.
You don't always have to talk about what you're up to. Let your results speak for you. Let your actions speak for you.
Social media doesn't always need to know about your grinding and hustle. People will know about it when they see your results.
It's the one thing you can't fake. There's a lot of fake people out there talking a lot of crap about who they are and what they've accomplished. But one thing you can never fake is results.
Be that person, the one who delivers, not the talker, not the statement maker, the result maker. Confuse them with your silence and shock them with your results.
Under talk, over deliver.
There's a saying, when you build in silence, they don't know what to attack. Don't let the haters get a chance to attack you before you've done anything. Build in silence and shock them with your end result.
You must know the results will come. If you get your head down and work, you do not need to tell everyone what you're up to or who you think you're going to be. Just show them. The results will come if you get your head down and work.
Your work ethic will show in your results. Your hustle will show in your results. Your ability will show in your results. Your greatness will show in your results, never in your talk.
There's no need to tell people how great you are. When you are truly great, they will tell you.
Let your results speak for you. Let your actions speak for you. Confuse them with your silence and shock them with your results.
Your work ethic will show in your results. Your hustle will show in your results. Your ability will show in your results. Your greatness will show in your results, never in your talk.
You really want me on the team. What's your approach to recruitment?
You want first place, come play with me. You want second place, go somewhere else. Like, I would watch Magic play. I'd watch Michael play. And I would see them do these unbelievable things, and I'd say, you know, can I get to that level? I don't know, but let's find out.
That's why he's the best player in the game.
Everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything. Everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
So because you know what you want, the world's giving you exactly the information you need to become better at it.
Because you know what you're looking for.
So many guys tell stories about your work ethic.
Yeah.
What was really your work ethic like, and for how long did you stay disciplined?
Well, I mean, every day. I mean, since 20 years. I mean, it was an everyday process and trying to figure out strengths and weaknesses. For example, jumping ability. Man, my vertical was a 40, it wasn't a 46 or a 45. My hands are big, but they're not massive, right? So you got to figure out ways to strengthen them so your hands are strong enough to be able to palm a ball and do the things that you need to do. Quickness, I was quick, but not insanely quick. I was fast, but not ridiculously fast, right? So I had to rely on skill a lot more. I had to rely on angles a lot more. I had to study the game a lot more. And but I enjoyed it though. So like from the time I can remember when I started watching the game, I studied the game and it just never changed. It's a good separation for me, emotionally, to be able to put myself in a place where at practice or when I'm training or during games, I switch my mind to something else. I switch my mode into something else, right? For me, it's the equivalent of Maximus, Decimus, Meridius, and Gladiator picking up the dirt, smelling the dirt, it's go time, right? So that was my mental switch. It was like an actor getting ready for a film. You gotta put yourself in that cage. When you're in that cage, you are that character. And then when you leave there, it's something completely different. But when I'm in that cage, bro, don't touch me, don't talk to me. Just leave me alone.
Like I told my professor, what happens if I fail? He said, what happens if you pass? I said, but what happens if I don't get it? What happens if I put in all these years and it don't work out? He said, but what happens if you put in all these years and you get it? You got skill and you got will. You got skill and you got will. Two total different things. You were born with certain things, but to get to the next level, and not just get to the next level, to stay at the next level, you gotta have will when you get to that next level. So when you play, you have to compete. When you have an opportunity, why would you give 80% when you have an opportunity? Somebody answer that for me. Y'all talk. Why would you give 80%, 70%? Why wouldn't you always give 120%? For real, you might get it, but right now what? Oh, I can't hear y'all. You may get it, but right now what? You don't have it. You have nothing to fear. Guys, you already overcame all kind of stuff. Because a lot of you don't see that what's gonna take you to that next level that's gonna separate you from everybody else, because you gotta have something that separates you. What's gonna separate you from everybody else? Right? I don't know what that is for you, but just talk about it. When you hear my videos, one of the things you notice that separates me from everybody else, I don't do what in any of my videos? I don't curse, and you've never seen me cuss before. You've never seen me drink before. You've never seen me smoke. I'm not against drinking and smoking, but my brand is I don't drink, I don't smoke. What are you gonna do to separate yourself? Like, I do things to separate myself from everybody else. The passion that I have when I speak, the grind that I have when I do what I do. What are you going to do to separate yourself? People you're not even gonna be hanging out with. All I wanna hear is E. They grinding like they ain't never grind before. Johnny, I wanna hear they out there handling that rock like E. They monsters, E. They like freaks out here, E. Like, they going hard, E. That's all I want. What's some more stuff that's keeping you from doing what you're supposed to do? I love it. You have an opportunity of a lifetime. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is, when you understand you have an opportunity, you play a little different.
And it was track and field. And the gym instructor pointed to my father online and said, Cyril Tyson, everyone look at him, he does not have the body type that would excel in track. And they used him as an example. And he says, what? No one is going to tell me what I can't do in my life. And he used that as a reason to start running. And he started track in that moment. He decided that one of his next tasks in life would be to take up running and excel at it. Within a few years of that, he became world class. At one time, had the 5th fastest time in the world. In the middle distance, they don't run this anymore, 600-yard run. In 1948, the Olympics was not yet ready to come back to us because we're still roiling from the Second World War. Instead, it was still an Olympics. It was called the GI Olympics, and it was held in Hitler's Stadium. So he competed in Hitler's Stadium in the late 1940s. It's just one of the great memories of his life. But the reason I'm saying all of that is they were competing against the New York Athletic Club. In the day, once you graduated college, you needed some sanctioning body to compete with. So there were athletic clubs. The New York Athletic Club at the time accepted only white Protestants. So there was another club called the Pioneer Club, which took everybody who was not accepted to the New York Athletic Club, which was basically blacks and Jews, is really what that came down to. And his best friend, Johnny Johnson, okay, was coming around the back stretch, might have been the quarter mile, coming on the final straightaway. And a runner from the New York Athletic Club is a few paces behind him. And Johnny Johnson overhears that runner's coach say, "Catch that." And he overheard this. And so what did he say to himself? He said, this is one he ain't gonna catch. And that extended his lead to the finish line. And he tells this story not with any bitter tone. So he never had that kind of tone when he shared those stories with us. It was, here's an occasion to parlay what today might be called a microaggression into a reason to excel even more than you had expected of your own abilities and talents. And so I have taken that lesson with me.
How did you get mentally and emotionally so strong where it doesn't bother you?
Well, you know, you got to look at the reality of the situation. You know, like for me, it's not, you know, you kind of got to get over yourself. Like, it's not about you, man. Like, oh, okay, you feel embarrassed. You're not that important. Like, get over yourself.
That's where you go.
Get over yourself, right? Like, you're worried about how people may perceive you, and like you're walking around and it's embarrassing because you shot 5 air balls. Get over yourself, right? And then after that, it's okay, well, why did those air balls happen? Got it. High school, year before, we played 35 games, max, right? Week in between, spaced out, plenty of time to rest. In the NBA, it's back to back to back to back to back to back to back. I didn't have the legs. So you look at the shot, every shot was online. Every shot was online, but every shot was short, right? I gotta get stronger. I gotta train differently. The weight training program that I'm doing, I gotta tailor it for an 82-game season so that when the playoffs come around, my legs are stronger and that ball gets there. So I look at it with rationale and say, okay, well, the reason why I shot air balls is because my legs aren't there. I go, well, next year they'll be there. That was it.
Done.
Done.
I wasn't successful because of who I was. Like, and a lot of y'all, for real, here's what you gotta stop doing. You hold people to the fire when they don't do what they're supposed to do, but you give yourself a pass. Like, and you gotta stop doing that. Like, I see in this generation, people will let their kids get away with stuff that I know you wouldn't let nobody else's kid get away with. But sometimes when you're so close to something, you don't treat it you don't treat it real. Like, you give it a pass because it's your baby. But if somebody else was to get on your couch and do that, you'd have a fit. Or somebody. So what I had to start doing was saying, you gotta stop holding other people to the fire, you gotta hold yourself to the fire. And I realized that without a schedule, I was the one that was messing up my life. And I realized I needed a schedule because I wasn't the brand to get me where I wanted to go, if that makes sense. Like, that version of Eric Thomas would never make me a 1%. I realized that. So when I sat down with Warren Buffett, 3 things that blew my mind. I never really realized where his money came from. So the first thing I did was I was like, yo, his money comes from investments. Well, what happened was when he was 12 years old, his father gave him his first grand and let him make an investment. So I realized he's not getting up early in the morning just to get up in the morning. What he says he does is he reads. He doesn't just read books. That's not what he does. He reads financial reports. So this dude was telling me he read a financial report of General Motors in 1964. And I'm thinking, like, why would you be reading? It's 2014. He was reading the document, the financial, listen to me. He's a financial genius. What was he reading? Finances. For real, y'all be coming up to me like, yo, E, what you reading? Why? You trying to be a motivational speaker? You trying to be the next Martin Luther King? You trying to be the next Mother Teresa? Why are you trying to read what I'm reading? Like, what are you trying, like, you trying to impress somebody? Why are you reading what I'm trying to read if you're not trying to be me? He was not reading Mother Teresa. He wasn't reading about leaders. He was reading a financial report from 1964 General Motors. Why? Because General Motors had one of their successful financial years in 1964. And so he was looking for the clues of what were they doing specifically in 1964 that can be duplicated in 2014. That's what he was looking for. So a lot of you getting up early because ET get up early, but you getting up early for no reason. You just up early. So be careful that your routine is pointing to where you're trying to get to and you're not wasting time. So I'm looking at Warren Buffett. He says he reads 6 hours a day. He reads financial documents 6 hours a day. That's the first thing he does, 7 days a week, 6 hours. But watch this, you go, ooh. When you read something for 6 hours times 7, that's 42 hours, right? That's 42 hours a week, right? I don't know how many hours that is a year, but guess why he makes the best financial decisions? because all he's doing is financial stuff. That's, he putting in 10,000, 20,000, 40,000, 50,000 hours. If you're gifted in 3 areas, then that means you're gonna have to get 30,000 hours just to be like basically a master. But what if you did one thing and got 30 hours of information in just that one area? You guys got 10,000 in 3 different areas. So while you got 10,000, I got 40, 50,000 in one area. What? Speaking. And guess what the disc is? The disc is still going further into personalities. It's still the same exact thing. So I'm putting more hours on top. So the routine is important because eventually it's going to make you a beast in one particular area. That's why you need a routine, because you can't trust yourself not to get off track. That routine is going to keep you on track and make you a 1%er.
You're playing against the Golden State Warriors. Score is 107-109. You guys are close to getting into the playoffs. You know exactly what happens in the game. You go up, you're about to take your shot, and then all of a sudden, boom, Achilles happens, right? He went and hit the free throws, and then you walked off the stage.
Yeah.
You got the surgery done.
I went in the trainer's room, my kids are in there, and you know, they're looking at you and stuff, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, you know, it's all right, Dad's gonna be all right. It'll be fine, it'll be all right, it'll be all right, it'll be all right. As a parent, you gotta set the example. You gotta set the example. This is another obstacle. This obstacle cannot define me. It's not gonna cripple me. It's not gonna be responsible for me stepping away for the game that I love. I'm gonna step away on my own terms. And that's when the decision was made that, you know what, I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
You're a freaking beast, bro.
Yeah.
Push yourself. So you want to be the best. You want to get to the top. You want to achieve success. I'm sick and tired of all you people out there that go around talking about what you want, what you're going to get, what you're going to have, what you're going to do, where you're going to go, and not doing shit to actually make it happen. If you're happy in life right now, then you can stop listening now, because this video ain't for you.
The moments and situations you're steering away from are usually the things that need to be attacked head on. You're the one that needs to trigger that growth. You'll always be dreaming of a better life, dreaming of success, dreaming about the person you're capable of becoming.
We've all got things we want to do, dreams of what we want our life to look like. The problem is, most of us are standing in a busy street just letting the opportunities in life pass us by. We're waiting for the perfect situation, the perfect circumstances, the perfect opportunity, the perfect time. There's never going to be a perfect time or the perfect moment. Take a look at the clock. This is your time. You know what you want, so go get it. It's there. If you want all these things in life and you're just thinking that by some miracle of life or some bullshit theory of the law of attraction it's going to magically happen, you've got to wake up. The only way to get what you want in life is to get to work and go and get it. To look at all your adversity and all the excuses square in the face and push yourself out of your comfort zone to achieve what you want.
Your biggest growth moments come from a place of discomfort. If you're never willing to step outside into those fears, face the unknown, and see what's on the other side of them, you'll always be wondering what could have been.
You can always do more. You always have another gear, another level of performance. You can always push a little bit harder, get up a little earlier, work a little longer, spend more time with the ones you love. Whatever it is you want more of or want to be better at in your life, you have complete control over whether you get it or not.
There's a fight right around the corner just waiting for you. And you better learn how to fight.
You got to get up every morning, fighting, clawing, scratching. You got to beat depression. You got to beat anxiety. You got to beat the naysayers. You got to beat that little voice in your head that's telling you you're not good enough.
When I think about fighting, I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about situations. I'm talking about circumstances. I'm talking about opportunities that sometimes you have to fight for. Come on, life, let's fight. Let's go. Come on, job, let's go. Come on, career, let's go. I'm going to go to war.
That dream is not going to just sit there and wait for you to come and get it. You got to chase it. Like a man possessed, you got to go get it.
But to win fights, you got to have stamina. You got to be ready to fight and bounce back, punch and counter punch, jab and jab back. Let me tell you something. Life is a series of fights. The worst thing you can do is run away from your fights. Because if life is a series of fights and you run away, you just ran away from your life.
We got to fight. We got to fight. We can't lay down. When you lay down, you get ran over.
When you about to fight, you know a fight's coming, your adrenaline begins to pump. Your heart begins to race. Your mind gets right and say, look, I'm not going to just fight. I'm going to win this battle, and sucker, you going down. Some of you guys out there are fighting for your life. Why? Because the doctor told you you have cancer. You better not feel sorry for yourself. You better not lay down and quit. You better get up and fight, because a happy spirit does the body good like medicine. Fighting for your future, fighting for your dreams, fighting for success. When you come over depression, you raise your arms like a champ. When you overcome bankruptcy, you raise your arms like a champ. When you come over divorce, raise your arms in victory. Sometimes in life, you get caught with a good one. You didn't see divorce coming. You didn't see cheating coming. You didn't see being fired coming. You got sucker punched. Oh, I've been sucker punched before, but that doesn't mean I can't stop fighting. We gotta get up, baby. When you get sucker punched, get up. When you get hit in the gut, get up. Because if you want to win this war, you gotta learn how to fight one battle at a time, one war at a time. Because you might not win every fight, but you gotta win the war. You gotta have the right attitude, the right mindset, the right mentality, not just to fight. It's gonna be a war, and you don't quit until you win. It's gonna be a war. And don't you quit until you win.
Let's fight, let's fight, let's fight, and let's fight.
You're going to have sometimes low moments when you won't want to get out of bed. You just want to stay there. At times you won't want to come out the house. There are some times when things aren't going to go right, that will catch you on the blind side, that you did not anticipate. There are times when anything that can happen will happen. Murphy's Law will be knocking at your door. See, but the real challenge comes when you get knocked down. That's where the growth takes place. I got a saying, when life knocks you down, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. You've got the power in you to do that. You've got something special. You've got comeback power. You'll get knocked down, but you won't be knocked out. I'm unstoppable. This will not get me down. You'll be able to get to your feet again, be on the ropes, but you have a fast recovery rate when you work on yourself.
You got to put your foot down and say, that's it. Enough is enough. No longer am I going to listen to that voice inside my head telling me I'm nothing, telling me I'm no good, telling me I'm weak, telling me I'm useless.
Fight against weakness, against fear, against time, and against decay. Fight back. Go down swinging. Give every day everything you've got.
No more am I going to be this scared little kid inside my head. And today, and from every day after today, I'm going to start fighting back. I'm going to start doing what I want to do with strength and pride. I'm going to take on the world because that's what I'm capable of. That's what I'm made to do. That's what's inside me.
Commitment. It means taking a stand for you. It means delivering. It means coming through. When we put ourselves in a situation where we say we're going to do it, it puts you in another zone. The universe responds to the man or woman that refuses to be denied. That business that you want, that book you want to write, that dream that you have of controlling your destiny, that is yours. But you've got to be willing to stand there and face disappointment, not have support, be lonely, doubt yourself sometimes, be rejected again and again and again, and refuse to turn around until life gives it up. Nothing can resist a person that has that kind of commitment.
Wake up every single day thinking about how can I change my life? How can I stand on the stage with the giants? I started this on homeless on the side of a Turkey Hill gas station, and I told myself I will not die here. I said, how can I build $1 million business with no money? A conscience in my head spoke to me and it said purpose. They said, when you work for your purpose will begin to work for you, and dreams and beautiful things will start to manifest. And I truly believe this. As long as you believe in that very gift that you have in the bottom of your stomach, that fire that burns, that dream that wakes you up in the middle of the night and wakes you up and have you screaming to the sun, rise so I can go after this dream. That is the very thing that you should chase every single day. If you chase this dream with consistency and you believe, your booking and your calendar will fill up. You want me to come to the middle of the projects? I'm coming. You want me to go where murderers sleep and live? I'm coming. You want me to fight that abusive husband that's beating on you? I'm coming. I'm going to take drug dealers and turn them into community leaders. I'm going to turn murderers into security. I'm going to turn drug addict mothers back into beautiful queens. I'm going to turn broken men into kings. And I'm going to show them that everything you tried to hide, God placed inside of me to tell the truth. So when I say the kings are on the rise, we are on the rise. Whatever you want out of your life, it's up to you to create. Because every human on this earth is born with this empty canvas. And your life is what you paint. There's nobody more special than anybody on this earth. It's just people that's willing to go down into the valley of nothingness. The valley of darkness. And come back with the sun. It's time that real comes to life. That's why the world is falling in love with this motivation, because it's real. You can feel it, you can see it, you know it. Because my motivation comes from my darkest days. And when I realized that I was gonna have to put on my hard hat, that I was gonna have to put on my boots, and I was gonna have to strap up and fight for this dream, that's when things started to happen. I told people, I never wanted to be the man and the leader that stood in the front and everyone stood behind me. I wanted to be a leader that everybody stood on side of me and we fought together. And we won't sell our soul for a taste of a light bulb. I don't care if you're that small boy sitting in them project halls.
I don't care if you that girl, that mother treats her like trash and calls her out her name. I don't care if you that young boy who never had a father to take him outside or throw a football. I don't care if you that father that they say is not a good father, but they don't understand you never learned how to be a father. You never learned how to love. I want you to know that you still are something. And as long as you got air in your lungs, life in your body, you can be anything you want to be. You can be anything you want to be. This is what we must do to take back our city. This is what we must do to change this world. We must come together collectively. We must understand that these older cats have sold their soul to the devil for $1. And they forgot about the babies at the bottom. They never went back. They left us. We don't need you anymore. But are you willing to die? Are you willing to sleep outside of that CEO office for opportunity? You see, just getting to the opportunity is hard. Seizing the moment is a whole nother monster. So while you fighting and you clawing to get to the next level, let me tell you something. If you're a person out there buying, trying to buy your way to the top, I want to let you know something, King and Queen. You can't buy a legacy. This you must earn. See the big dogs? They won't give you the opportunity. You're gonna have to take it. You're gonna have to sleep in your car. You're gonna have to sleep on that floor. You're gonna have to cry them tears. But we're not gonna be crybabies. We're gonna be lions. You know when a lion is injured, when a lion is bleeding, he licks his wounds and he keeps walking.
Another thing I would advise against is looking too sharply at what other people are doing and ending up being a copycat. Of course, you've got to imitate before you innovate, but always with your own fingerprint, always thinking in terms of how am I going to bring something unique, my unique song, my unique fingerprint, my unique vibration. How am I going to deliver that to the planet as a gift? You're a gift. Every single one of us is a gift. How are you going to exercise and share your gift?
Reignite your soul by reigniting the spark in your body.
It's definitely natural to do this. Sometimes the way it happens is based on unnatural clocks. But what happens is when you, in that stage, in that time, in my life, it didn't make sense for me to be here because I'm in a going down process. When you go up, right, I'm up, I'm riding high, and then you come down, you're not going to start again at the same circle, right? So you're not the same version of yourself. You can't expect yourself to be who you were during the last cycle. It won't happen. You have new experiences, you're older, your physiology changes, all kinds of happens. But the ego, like you referred to, wants to attach to what was. You had a great year last year, but let it go because it's no longer. You're not that person anymore. You've got to allow yourself to go through whatever you're going through right now to reemerge on the right timetable as a stronger version of yourself. Just because summer ended doesn't mean that you're supposed to come back up on that next circle. You might still be going down. Failure is important. You need failure in order to succeed. It is the principle of death and rebirth. It is the principle of catabolic and anabolic. It is the principle of going down so that you can rise up. Done.
When you feel like your energy is all gone and it's impossible to finish every assignment on time. When you feel like you're mentally broken and your motivation to achieve is hard to find. When you feel like the clouds in your life are so dark it would be impossible to ever see the sun shine again. When you feel. Those are three of the most powerful words that could ever be put together. When you feel. Because the feel means you're still with us. Because the feel means you're still breathing. Because the feel means you still have an opportunity to be achieving. Because the feel means that you still have the power to stop the pain, stop the bleeding, stop the hurting, stop the grieving. I said, when you feel. Because the feel means you're still with us. Because the feel means you're still breathing. Because the feel means you still have an opportunity to be achieving. Because the feel means that you still have the power to stop the pain, still have the power to stop the bleeding, still have the power to stop the hurting, still have the power to stop the grieving. So whenever you feel like your professor or teacher has lost their mind because they're overwhelming you with a workload that seemingly will take up all of your time, I need you to pause and recall the reason why you made the choice to invest your time. And never lose sight of the fact that you were destined to shine. Never lose sight of the fact that you were made for this grind. Never lose sight of the fact that no hole is too deep for you to climb up out of. And above all else, your why will never ever allow you to withdraw. Your why will never ever allow you to pull the plug. Your why will never ever allow you to throw in the towel. See, it's your why that will push you to dig deeper and to go that extra mile. See, not only do you owe yourself, but you told your mama you were finished. You told your daddy you were finished. You told your brother you were finished. You told your sister you were finished. So therefore, it's up to you to never diminish the value of your word. And a wise man once gave me a wise word, and now I'm passing these wise words on to you. You are in total control of your situation. So when you feel like you're facing a breaking point, this is the point when you go to your professor. This is the point when you go to your academic advisor, and not the time to despise her and not the time to despise him. Simply say, I am in this until I walk across the stage with my diploma. I am in this until I smell the sweet aroma of success. And right now, I'm feeling overwhelmed because I am on academic overload. Do you have any suggestions that will help me power through this semester? Because my only option is to figure this out. And whatever it takes, I can, I will, and I must do. See, I understand that drastic times call for drastic measures. And the measure of a person's will is determined by what they are willing to do to ensure triumph over tragedy. The measure of a person's will is determined by what they are willing to do to ensure success over failure. The measure of a person's will is determined by what they are willing to do to ensure winning over losing. And see, right now, I'm choosing to fight for my academic future, and that's why I came to your office. I promise. When they see that your passion is pushing you with a purpose, they will give you every ounce of their being to assure you are successful because they know you're worth it. I just need you to never forget that you're worth it. Success is your baby. You just gotta birth it and then kick back and enjoy the fruits of your labor. But in the meantime, I need you to pull up your sleeves. I need you to tighten up your boxing gloves because you're right in the middle of a heavyweight boxing match. And life is trying to take your title, and your survival in this academic arena is at stake. It's moments like these where we separate the real from the fake. But when it's like you shake off any and every punch that life throws and fight back with a series of vicious headshots and body blows to overcome and achieve the victory. But believe you me, life will keep testing you. Believe you me, life will keep trying you. Believe you me, life will keep pushing you. Believe you me, life will keep trying to break you. I don't think y'all heard me. I said, believe you me, life will keep testing you. Believe you me, life will keep trying you. Believe you me, life will keep pushing you. Believe you me, life will keep trying to break you. Lock in with me. And always remember, you are unbreakable. they want to see you fail. But you are a diamond, and you succeed because you get back up after you fail. And you will get back up again and again until your arms are raised with the wind. So I need you to speak positivity into existence and ignore your inner voice of resistance, because it's your resilience and persistence that will allow you to master your time management skills, that will allow you to break all of these huge assignments down into small pieces, that will allow you to group study with a winner circle, that will allow you to jump over any, and I mean any, academic hurdles. Always remember when you feel. That means you are still breathing, and thus you have an opportunity to keep achieving. This is a great day to win.
When you come to a crossroad and run into the winner and the quitter in you, listen to the winner. The quitter will never take you down the road you want to travel.
I believe we all have a winner inside of us. There's a winner inside of you. Sometimes we've just been hanging around with losers for too long. Develop the mindset of a winner. The truth is, most people give up on their dream. Most people give up on their dream to live the average lifestyle. But it really doesn't matter what most people do. What do you do? Because you are different. You will never give up on your dream. You will not listen to the average. You will listen to the winner inside of you. You will believe in yourself when no one else does. You will believe in yourself when you have no reason to believe. And you will never quit.
I know some of you are going through a rough time. Some of you are going into the fight of your life. Fighting for your future, fighting for your career, fighting for your family. Some of you are fighting for your life. And I am telling you, do not quit. Do not give in. I know life can be tough. I know life can wear you down, but if you just stick it out, even if you don't get the result, you will find the character you showed will be your reward. The fighting spirit you develop will be the reward, and it will serve you well for the rest of your life. Fight for what you want now, or fight against what you don't want later. You choose.
Don't you dare quit. Don't you dare settle. Don't you dare back down. Not today or any other day. When the tough moments come, never forget you are in that moment writing your legacy. In that tough moment, you are setting the standard for your character. Do you have the character? You do.
Fight for what you want now, or fight against what you don't want later. You choose. Fight for what you want now, or fight against what you don't want later. You choose. When you come to a crossroad and run into the winner and the quitter in you, listen to the winner. When you make a commitment to yourself, you make sure you see it through. Never, ever quit.
So be the type of person that's willing to fight. Give your blood, sweat, and tears for what you believe in. And understand, a legacy can never be bought. Let me tell you why. You can't buy a legacy. See, the Most High give us this dynamic gift, this gift that's so amazing. I mean, this gift that the whole world wants to buy. But he makes us work for them. He makes us grind. He makes us feel the pain of the process. And for me, I would say I'd rather have it no other way. See, we get a lot of people that throw all these big conferences, throw all these big, amazing events, and what I realize is you pay $10,000, but the Most High is the only one that's going to give you the date that says it's time for you to be great. It's time for you to be phenomenal. See, many of us like to skip the hard part. We like to skip the stages that make us the great people that we are born to be. Les Brown has a saying, live full and die empty. And that's what I live by. I realize that you have to be willing to sleep outside of that office for your opportunity. You must be willing to go down to the shelter and eat those canned goods for your opportunity. You must be willing to almost die for your dream. And you must realize that you cannot buy this. No one can give you this. You must earn this. I played the game as if my life was on the line. And individuals all over the world to understand this very thing. Greatness lies in the man that believes it's in them. So all those books, all those manuals, everything you're looking at, you're gonna realize one day when you're standing on that stage, when you're standing at that altar, when you're standing at that place of greatness, you're gonna remember, you're gonna understand that everything I needed was inside of me. Everything I needed was inside of me. Now, if you turned your back on me, I promise I'm gonna make you turn around. You will call me king. You will call me king.
The hour is now for game changers to emerge.
Be truthful to who you are. Life is so short.
So it drives me nuts when people say we don't have the time. We have 24 hours a day.
I am much more valuable to my family and to my community because I was willing to let them go through the door myself, teach myself, learn myself, condition myself, and then come back and get them.
You're either going to get healthier and wealthier, or you're going to go bust. Your choice.
Pursue what you really want with everything you've got.
Brace yourself, steady your nerves, put your head down, and tackle whatever you face head on.
I need you to believe in every possibility that you have and understand that it is not over for you.
Let your work get your opportunity. Let your work get your praise. Let your work open up doors. Let your work get people paying attention. Let your work get the whole world to notice. Stop thinking. Stop procrastinating. And you got work. Goliath! There will be many giants in your life. Whatever goal you have, get up and run after it.
Your brain is designed to keep you safe. Your soul, your intuition, your human spirit is designed to make you soar.
That's not just a book in your hand, that's your sword. That's not just an idea, that's your sword. That's not just a dancing gift, that's your sword.
But what you cannot do is you cannot quit during the process. You cannot give up because it ain't what you see. You cannot give up. Champions keep going when they don't have anything left in their tank.
I'm gonna rise, and I'm gonna show the world that greatness is obtained by a man that never stopped pushing.
It's not easy to go through so many different circumstances, so many different challenges. It's not easy knowing that you may lose your home because you got laid off your job.
You gotta set the example. This is another obstacle. This obstacle cannot define me. It's not gonna cripple me. It's not gonna be responsible for me stepping away for the game that I love.
You need to rise up and understand what success is all about. We gotta rise up, we gotta start, we gotta finish. You should work so hard that you collapse in the bed at night. Then you fall asleep, wake up and rise up again.
Through all the bumps in the road and the stormy weather, the heart of a champion you can never measure.
You can't stop people from trying to limit your dreams, but you can stop it from becoming a reality.
You know, I have the saying, work like someone's trying to take it all away from you.
Architects, pioneers, innovators, students, athletes, lawyers, doctors. I'm sounding the alarm that a new mentality will emerge inside of you.
I need you to believe in every possibility that you have and understand that it is not over for you.
Now is the moment to start making your impact.
When you want this thing as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you find a way.
The fact that you're still alive and still on this earth, even though it's been challenging and rough, and sometimes you get discouraged and uninspired to keep going. God has a plan. You will grow through what you go through.
Don't be sad, be grateful. Don't dwell, do. Don't complain, create. We got this.
As long as there's breath in my lungs, there's hope in our hearts, and giving up's not an option. You and I and we, no matter what your unique situation, your storm, your struggle, your trauma, your abuse, your wounds, your scars, no matter what they are, you are not a product of your past. You are not a product of your environment or your current unique situation, but you are always a product of how do we navigate through our storm.
And so we're all waiting for perfect. It's an illusion that will never come to you, and it's an excuse to never show up and play. Your story is not meant to be your fortress. Your story is meant to be your fuel.
You cannot win the war against the world if you can't win the war against your own mind.
That dream is not gonna wait and say, take a breather. It's gonna say, come catch me. Catch me if you can.
You've got to block out all of the noise around you that's going to tell you can't do it. Just believe that you can.
Tell yourself, I am more than my circumstances. I am more than my demons. I am great, and I will give my gift to the world. Because this is what I was born to do.
Go get it, son. Go get it. Be sweet. 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 Go get it, son.
If you're going to see it, if you're going to see breakthrough,
then you are going to have to be okay with the process that is required.
The one thing you need to do to go where you've never gone before, to have what you never had before, is to change the way you think.
You're at the edge, watching someone else live, wondering what it's going to be like when you jump without ever jumping. And I'm just here to tell you, jump.
Believe that you can. Believe it's possible for you to have it.
Don't lay on your back. Anything that comes your way, you got to be prepared to accept the challenge and go through it.
And stop thinking about the negative. Stop talking about the negative. Ask yourself, what would amazing look like for you?
As long as that heart is pumping blood, you're not dead yet. They haven't put rose petals on your box yet. Make sure every breath you take counts for something.
Continue to pursue purpose. And we all got a purpose. Every one of you in this room were born to not just exist, but to experience life. Every one of you in this room, you were born to leave your fingerprints on history.
Courage. Courage is the key to life itself.
It takes courage to act. Part of being hungry when you've been defeated, it takes courage to start over again.
If I could do anything for you, I would walk into your life and I would breathe courage into your life. And courage is a result of confidence. You have never seen a courageous person that didn't have confidence.
Human potential is not of any kind of measurable limit. It can go as far as you desire or as far as you have the courage to walk.
How do you stand up to massive external pressure? Courage. And courage is something that comes from relationships. You know, it's external. There are days we're going to doubt ourselves. There are days that storms are going to rise, and we have to have people who say, I got your back. You need to do this. We need you. The world needs this. Keep going.
Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the judgment that what you want is more important than your fear.
It takes courage to achieve your goals, man. It takes courage to be successful.
Patience and inner voice makes you unbeatable.
You've lived a life dominated by doubt and fear. How do you step into bravery? Step. Take the step.
No more will I live like this. It takes courage to fight back.
If you don't have the courage to act, life will move on you.
You don't work for nobody else. You work for your mama, you work for your sister, you work for your aunts, you work for your grandma, you work for your family, you work for your kids. You ain't making no other man rich.
Do you have the courage to stand there though the storms keep raging? It takes courage to be successful. It takes courage to win. It takes courage to be different. It takes courage to go where you've never gone before.
There are a lot of people who are born in situations that say, well, I'll never get out of this. So they won't. I say to people who say, well, I would like to have done so and so and so. So you could have done it. So, well, I couldn't get out of here. Man, the bus runs every day.
I know you're tired. I know you're broken. And it feels like you can't take anymore. That you have come to the end of yourself. But all of this means one thing. That you are a survivor. Your greatest weakness
The hurt, the pain, the betrayal, the feeling that you get when you wake up and you are inundated with so much responsibility. Feels like you can't breathe. Paralyzed by the pain of life. I can only imagine what it's been like to be you. But I'll tell you this, there is a switch inside of every one of us. And at any moment in life, you can turn that switch from surviving to winning. Because ultimately, survival is an illusion. There's only two types of people in this world. There's people who lose, and there's people who win. And it's hard to be a loser, it is hard to be a winner. Today, I want you to make a decision to flip the switch inside of you from surviving to winning. It's time to win. See, the human being is the highest order of creation on earth. And one thing I am crystal clear about is that at any moment in your life, you can come across a speech or a piece of information, and if that information is applied, that revelation, it can forever alter the fabric of your existence. It's in the midst of our greatest storm. If you can hear my voice, you've survived. You survived the hurricane. You survived the storm. You survived the trial. You survived the betrayal. You survived it all. In order to change your life, all you gotta do is flip this switch from surviving to winning. See, a survivor will sit and wallow in the pain of the past, but a winner will build even when they are broken. I may be weak, I may be hurting, I may have pains, I may have been down, but I am not out. I am getting out of this hole. Today, I'm getting out of the pit of misery and into my destiny. Your pain is not bigger than your purpose. And even though you have been crushed in this very moment, you still have your calling. Flip the switch from weakness to winning, from hurting to conquering, from losing to champion.
What I've learned is to always keep going. Always. You know, there's been times, particularly early in my career, where it just feels like this is the end. But what I've come to find out is that, you know, no matter what happens, the storm eventually ends. And when the storm does end, you want to make sure that you're ready. And so I've really learned to put one foot in front of the other, good, bad, or indifferent, because eventually that storm passes.
With the 13th pick in the 1996 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Kobe Bryant from Lower Merion High School in Pennsylvania.
Every time I step on a basketball court, I'm going to put a strong effort out there on the floor. I'm not going to leave anything on the floor.
Kobe pops out. Kobe's going to go. A couple of left-handed dribbles. Has a look at it. Lakers win! As always.
Everything was done to try to learn how to become a better basketball player. Everything. And so when you have that point of view, then literally the world becomes your library to help you to become better at your craft.
And as I'm walking onto the court, who do I see? I see Kobe Bryant, already working out. And I'm like, okay, it's kind of cool, it's Kobe. So I worked out for a good hour and a half. And when I came off, after I was done, I sat down, and of course I still hear the ball bouncing. I look down, I'm like, this guy's still working out? He was working out for it looks like he was in a dead sweat when I got here, and he's still going. And it's not like his moves are nonchalant or lazy. He's doing like game moves, you know? I sit there and I unlace my shoes. I'm like, I want to see how long this goes. So I sit out there and watch, 25 minutes. And he got done. I said, okay, I think I've seen enough. Go play, come back. get in the sauna, get ready for the game. That game, he drops 40 on us, okay? And after the game is over, I'm like, I have to ask this guy. Like, I have to understand, like, why he works like that.
Right.
So after the game is over, I'm like, hey, Kobe, like, why were you in the gym for so long? He's like, because I saw you come in. And I wanted you to know that it doesn't matter how hard you work, that I'm willing to work harder than you.
Wow.
And he's like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm not saying I dislike you as a person. You inspire me to be better.
Right.
And it was the first time I started to see this level of competitiveness where I said, I need to start doing more. Right. Wow.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. It's like, it's competitiveness, yes, but it's a simple theory or idea to live life by. If you're going to do something, do it to the best of your ability. No matter what it is, if you're going to do it to the best of your ability.
If you love what you do and it's making you happy, all the hard work and perseverance will pay off. I once had a guidance counselor tell me that I shouldn't play basketball, that it would never amount to anything for me. His negativity towards me made me stronger. You can't stop people from trying to limit your dreams, but you can stop it from becoming a reality. Your dreams are up to you. I encourage you to always be curious, always seek out things you love, and always work hard once you find it.
It drives me crazy when people say that they don't have enough time to go to the gym for 45 minutes a day and work out, or to do something for 45 minutes to an hour a day to improve, if it is physically improve or if it is mentally to improve. Imagine you read 1 hour a day about history. How much you will learn after 365 hours in 1 year. Think about if you study about the history of musicians, of composers, how much you would know. Imagine if you would work on a business, on some business that you want to develop every day for an hour. Imagine how further along you will go and get. So it drives me nuts because when people say we don't have the time, we have 24 hours a day. We sleep 6 hours a day, so that gives you still 18 hours. And there's someone shaking their head out here in front. They say probably, I don't sleep 6 hours, I sleep 8 hours, right? But just sleep faster. So we have 18 hours a day. The average person works around 8 to 10 hours. So let's assume it's 10 hours, so we have 8 hours left. Then you travel around an hour a day, maybe 2 hours a day. So now you have still 6 hours left. So what do you do with these 6 hours? What do you do with these 6 hours? Then we eat a little bit, then we schmooze a little bit, talk a little bit to people and all that stuff. But you can see how much time there is available if you organize your day. So you got to work hard. I mean, let me tell you something. When I went to America, I went to college. I went and worked out 5 hours a day. And I was working on construction. Because in those days in bodybuilding, there was no money. I didn't have the money for food supplements or anything. So I had to go to work. So I worked in construction. I went to college. I worked out in the gym, and at night from 8 o'clock at night to 12 midnight, I went to acting class 4 times a week. So I did all of that. There was not one single minute that I wasted. And this is why I'm standing here today.
What would you like to do? If you don't like what you're doing, and you don't like where you are, and you don't like your relationships, and you don't like X, Y, or Z, What do you want? What do you like? And then you got to be able to add passion to it to activate that thing and make that dream a reality. Are you fully aware of the bridges that are required to cross over to make your dream a reality? I think a lot of people, they have this vision in their head, this dream, but they don't know how to make it a reality. We navigate through life and we keep missing the bridges to bridge the gap between dream and reality. So do you know what is required of you? Are you aware of what is required of you to make happen what you see only in your head? I want to give you another quote. Almost every man wastes part of his life in attempts to display qualities which he does not possess. I want you to ask yourself the question, are you the person that is projecting a different you to the world on social media, on your websites, in your meetings? Are you projecting a different you? Are you the same person in private? And I know that there are multiple versions of yourself, or even I have multiple versions of me, but are they consistent? I want to ask you the question, are you aware of your why? Are you aware of your why? So now that you've discovered, okay, I'm not doing what I want to do, and I need to learn how to do what I want to do, and I need to figure out the bridge to bridge the gap between the dream and the reality, do you know why you want to do what you actually want to do? What is your why? Because if the why is great enough, if you're aware of that why, then you can begin to back that why up with work ethic. Every why's got to be backed up by work. You want to be committed, you want to be consistent, you want to be creative, you want to be purposeful, you want to be reflective, and you want to be grateful. These are just a few things that you want to be as you are moving forward in your self-awareness. You've identified your weaknesses. You've identified that there is a gap between who you are, what you want, and where you want to be. There's a massive gap. Awareness and the acceptance of that awareness is the bridge to the future. This is going to connect you to your destiny tribe. Your destiny tribe comes with multiple types of people. What would you like to do? What do you believe you've been destined to do? What talents, skills, giftings, and abilities do you possess to support your desire to do it? What are your motives for wanting to do it? Why do you want to become what you are looking to become? What steps are you taking to become and to live the life, to make the dream a reality? When you have awareness and you have your actions, but you have no accountability, you set yourself up for a great fall. Let me ask you a question. What price are you willing to pay to make the dream a reality? How aware are you? Are you aware of the price that you are willing to pay relationally, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually? There is a price to pay to manifest a dream. You know, two of the greatest moments in an individual's life is the day they were born and the day that they realize why they were born. Are you aware of your why? Why are you here? What are you doing? Who are you connected to? What are your people, your places, and your purpose?
Life is so short. Life only has a little time. Although it will continue to go on, you cannot hold on and think that every day is promised to you. We have all experienced great losses in our life. We have all felt that pain of losing a loved one, someone that we cared about. But yet we're still here. And now we must go on. But what is the example that we're gonna leave? What kind of leadership and what kind of leadership qualities do we have? How do we go on? How do we lead the next generation? Hate is not gonna make it work. Being afraid to be truthful to who you are will only limit who you truly are inside. Don't let anyone take that away from you. Don't let anyone take away who you are and how true you are and what you matter in this world to so many other people. Don't be afraid to be honest. Don't be afraid to be truthful. Don't be afraid to be different. Even being different can be difficult to a lot of people. But I guarantee you this, there's nobody in the world that can do you. When the time comes, what would you leave behind? What legacy will be left behind to remind others of your greatness, of your losses, of your victories, of your sorrows? This is a short life that we all have. And it's not easy. It's not easy living it every day. It's not easy to go through so many different circumstances, so many different challenges. It's not easy getting that pink slip, knowing that this may be your last day on your job. It's not easy knowing that you may lose your home because you got laid off your job. This type of pain and these different circumstances, many people are always gonna come back and say, well, that's life. We cannot blame life. It is not life that makes these challenges what they are today. It is the purpose, and purpose never lies. It will always tell you the truth. But while you exist in this world right now, I need you to hold on. I need you to hold on strong and don't give up. I need you to believe in every possibility that you have and understand that it is not over for you. I need you to understand life is always going to be good. But always keep in mind, sooner or later, we all got to punch that clock. So carry on. And don't give up. And don't give in. And do the best that you can to have the right attitude to make your existence matter.